Hi, my name is Jocelyn Hammond, and this is my slideshow presentation on my research design on correlation. My problem being investigated and my hypothesis. I want to further investigate if using an interactive notebook has a positive correlation with my students' phonics comprehension and understanding. And overall, I believe that using an interactive notebook would improve my students' understanding of the content and ultimately their comprehension of learning the alphabet. Subjects and sampling. The subjects in my study were my kindergarten students. I have 13 students, 7 boys and 6 girls. My students are located in Velva at Velva Elementary School. The samples I used were our weekly quizzes or assessments in which I use these to see what my students have learned after 1 week worth of lessons. Data collection. In my classroom, we teach one letter of the alphabet per week, and we don't teach the letters in order. The first week, I did teach the letter P. We did our regular lessons, followed by worksheets. We didn't do anything extra than this. The second week, I went over the letter P again as a follow-through or follow-up. We again did our regular lessons followed with our worksheets. But then this time, after the worksheets were done, I introduced the interactive notebooks for the first time, and we did activities in our notebooks such as cutting and pasting the letter P, writing words that start with P, and we also journaled about different foods that start with P. Following again with the data collection, I did use the same quiz format for each assessment. The only difference in the quiz formats were the use of interactive notebooks. So for my quiz 1, I used it on the letter P, but it was before using interactive notebooks. And quiz 2 was letter P again, but after, so it was after they've used the interactive notebooks. The quizzes were both out of 10 points, so it was easy for me to see if there was a major change in their scores or not. A method of analysis. I did use the Pearson test for my results. Before the interactive notebook, my sample was 13 students, so 13 minus 1 is 12. My expected result would be 130 as I have 13 students and I would expect them to get a 10 out of 10. However, my actual result totaled at 84 points. 84 minus 130 squared and then divided by 130 gave me 16.27. This would be my chi-squared value, and according to the chart, it is likely to happen and my hypothesis would be accepted. Method of analysis again. I did use the Pearson test once again for my results for after using interactive notebooks. My sample again was 13 students, so 13 minus 1 gives me 12. My expected result again would be 130, as I would expect my students, all 13 of them, to get 10 out of 10. However, this time my actual result totaled at 110 points. 110 minus 130 squared divided by 130 gave me 3.07. So 3.07 was again my chi-squared value, and according to the chart again, it is likely to happen and my hypothesis would still be accepted. With my findings, although both of my tests, the scores were accepted, the after quiz scores were much higher, and that showed me that using an interactive notebook in my classroom benefited my students and their overall scores. Again, my before scores totaled 84 out of 130, and my after scores totaled 110 out of 130. Major conclusions and recommendations. In conclusion to my study, based on the results that I have found with my students' quizzes, I would highly recommend the use of interactive notebooks in the kindergarten classroom. Even if it's just them writing down the letter P several times and finding a place for them to journal in the notebook, even that extra something else other than a worksheet, it really did make a difference in my students. And they thoroughly actually enjoyed, getting the notebook each day and adding to it. And they did tell me that, they thought it was more hands-on instead of just doing a worksheet and handing it in to me. So overall for their phonics, it did increase their grade, and I do believe it benefited their understanding and the content. So I'm going to also, look into, in the future, using interactive notebooks again in science and probably social studies, and maybe math sometime down the road too, based off of my results that I have found. In my references, I did use just our statistics for people who think they hate statistics textbook to help me with the tests and things like that. Thank you.